Hello and welcome back to Will's Will Reviews and More. And yeah, today I'm just going to do my review of the last night's pay-per-view, Payback, WWE Payback 2015. I guess you probably noticed that this one has been uploaded a bit later. It's because I didn't actually stay up for this one. I actually just watched it this morning, got up early. And to be fair, I think that's what I'll probably do from now on, unless it's the big ones, so maybe like SummerSlam and Survivor Series, depending on if I've got anything on. Obviously, I might stay and watch that through the night. Usually, for me, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning until 4, and then do the video, it's like 5 o'clock, so it's obviously quite a late thing, depending on what I've got on the next day. This seems like a better one as well because I've had some internet connection trouble, so if I'd have watched it live, there may have been some buffering, I may have missed bits, obviously, whereas I could just watch it straight through this morning, no problems, high quality. So maybe that's the way it'll be from now on, but still, yeah. So, um, yeah, it was not a good pay per view. You have to say it was a good pay per view. I was entertained, definitely. Going into this, I was only really looking forward to the main event, which is another reason why I didn't stay up for it because there weren't too many other matches that caught my eye. But in general, it was a solid pay per view. So I'll just give you my thoughts on it, and let's go ahead. So there was an extra match on the kickoff show that nobody really was aware of. It was R-Truth who defeated Stardust. Not quite sure why this match happened. Maybe there was trying to fill some time or something like that, or just try and get a few more people on the card. But in the end, it was quite an easy victory for Truth. I'm not really sure what they're going to do with Stardust, especially if the plans are true that Goldust is going to retire, whether they just replace Goldust with Stardust, or whether we'll see a return of Cody Rhodes, which I think would be the optimum thing because I think it is getting a bit stale now with Stardust. And as for R-Truth, he just kind of does what he does, and he seems to be over the crowd, so he's alright to be doing stuff like that, and maybe obviously the lower card. Then you had the Ascension versus the kind of meta powers as they're being known, the rip-off of the Mega Powers. Axel Mania, Curtis Axel doing Hulk Hogan, and Damien Sandow doing Macho Man, Randy Savage. In the end, it wasn't really anything special. There was a couple of funny moments with Axel hulking up and the leg drop and blah 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 blah. But in the end, the Ascension got the win, a rare win for them. So in the end, it was probably the right decision. It just wasn't really anything great. So that's that. Then you head into the actual pay per view, the main show. You had Sheamus v Dolph Ziggler to open up, and actually, I wasn't impressed with their match at Extreme Rules, but this one actually delivered. I see another side to Sheamus. It was the first time I'd ever seen him in the last pay per view. I was surprised at this. He really is quite a good worker, and he's great on the mic as well. You have to give him that. And it was entertaining. Dolph, obviously, with the blood at the end, but Sheamus got the victory, and I'm sure there'll be some. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll face off again, probably in the Elimination Chamber for the IC title, I would imagine. I'm not sure if Sheamus has ever held the IC title, so it'd be interesting to put him in that. Then you had tag team match, another great match actually. Really, really enjoy the chemistry that Cesaro and Kid have got. So in this match against the New Day, it was 2 out of 3 falls. Cesaro and Kid got the first. New Day picked up the second, and then New Day got the third, even though Xavier was the one who picked up the victory, even though he wasn't supposed to be in the match. So obviously that feud will continue into Elimination Chamber as well. I hope Cesaro and Kid pick up the victory. I'm not sure who else is going to be in that Elimination Chamber. Maybe Harper and Rowan, which will be interested. But I really am impressed with Cesaro and Kid, and the New Day, just a New Day. They're over his heels, and that's about it, really. Bray Wyatt versus Ryback, another great match. Have to say, wasn't really looking forward to it, but again, really impressed by Bray Wyatt. Maybe both these guys even could be put into the Intercontinental title picture as well. Interesting. I'd like to see Wyatt with the belt if Ambrose is not involved, obviously. But a good match, and Wyatt picked up the victory. Again, probably the right decision. He needed the victory. Ryback obviously still needed the victory, but I think Wyatt more so because I think he's the bigger star, if you like, and the one who's probably going to have bigger success. Next, I was surprised to see it kind of on the middle of the card. I suppose it is a mid-card championship, so it's to be expected, but I thought it might be the kind of like backup to the main event, and that was Cena versus Rusev in an I Quit match. And to be fair, I'm not a massive fan of Cena, and Rusev's alright, and I've not really been fond of this feud. But to be fair, it came to a really good end. If it is the end, I'm assuming it is. Lots of interesting spots, with the steel steps and the pyro techniques and the actual old school rail and then the ring rope. Really, really innovative stuff for a match. And in the end, Lana kind of said, "I quit for Rusev," because we're not really sure what he said, if it was in Bulgarian or Russian or whatever. So I think they are going to go with the Rusev and Lana split, maybe. I'm not sure whether they'll decide to just, reveal that Rusev is Bulgarian. I spoke about that before. Or whether Lana will reveal that she's actually American. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I'm sure there's plenty of life left in that. As for Cena, I think he might move on now, and he's going to continue with his kind of open challenges, so maybe somebody will take it off him, but it's unlikely. But, actually surprised at how good of an entertaining match that was. Then you had Divas match again, an entertaining match. It was nice to see them later on in the card. It could have been longer, but it was good work from all four of the Divas. The Bellas lost, who are now firmly face. Naomi and Tamina picked up the win. Not really sure where they're going to go with this. Are they just going to continue on feuding? It does feel a little bit stale. We know they're not having Paige. Maybe they'll introduce Lana in there somewhere. That's the rumor. Or maybe they'll promote someone from NXT. We'll have to see. But it is getting a little bit stale. So we'll just have to see what happens. I don't think there'll be a Divas match at Elimination Chamber, but obviously there probably will be at Money in the Bank. Then, just before the main event, you had Neville versus Bad News Barrett. It was okay. It wasn't as good as some of their other matches. It was a bit drab, really. In the end, Neville beat Bad News Barrett by count out. Bad News Barrett decided not to get back in the ring. Then Barrett attacked Neville, and then Neville recovered and hit the Red Arrow. And that was about it, really. It was alright. Didn't really deserve to be as high on the card as it was. And then, definitely the highlight for me, a great main event between Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. And what really stood out in this match is the quality of the three guys in particular from the Shield and just how bright their futures are. I mean, these guys could dominate the main event of WWE for the next 10 years. You talk about your kind of Cena and your Orton and how they've dominated. These three guys, have got it in their hands, really, providing barring injuries and any kind of mistakes, backstage or anything like that. You would feel that these guys have got a massive future, and the chemistry between them is obvious, and I'd love to see them square off with each other for the next 10 years. And, at some point you've got to think probably 5, 6, 7 years down the line, they will reform the Shield. We saw a bit of that with the mini reunion for the Powerbomb. Excellent stuff. It was really, really top quality. And, like I said, the future is really endless for these guys, and I really hope that WWE runs with them because, they are all quality workers. Even Reigns, it's unfair now that he's getting booed. Back in January, I understood the animosity towards him because there was that kind of feel that he hadn't earned it yet and he hadn't gone through the kind of rigmarole of the Indies and all the rest of it. And WWE were pushing him at the time, but they've stopped that now. He's proved that he can hack it in the main events. He WrestleMania, he put on an awesome show with Brock and Seth in the end, and his match against the Big Show was probably the highlight of Extreme Rules. So I think it's unfair that he's still getting stick, and he has got a lot of charisma. You've got to give him that, and I think I would not be disappointed if he's WWE champion at some point, and I would not be disappointed if they make him the face of the company. To me, he's a hell of a lot better than Cena. I think if they do turn him into Cena, that's when I'll have my issue with that whole never give up stuff. But if they keep him as he is and make him the face, I've got no problem at all. He's got everything really, and like I said, so have all the guys, and it was nice to see Ambrose and Reigns finally square off. Still friends, obviously. They're still both faces, as we thought there might be a heel turn for one of the faces, but there wasn't, so they're still face. Kane got involved. His loyalty is still there to the Authority. Whether we'll actually see the Big Red Machine come back at some point, I'm not sure. In the end, it was just the kind of ending we all expected, really. Rollins retains. through interference, but also through, using Triple H's move, the pedigree. Because obviously the curb stomp is banned, and until that concussion lawsuit goes away. So, but really, really great match. Really enjoyed it, and was well worth being the main event. And like I say, heading into Elimination Chamber now, I'm not sure whether they'll have that title on the line, either in a normal match or inside the chamber. But obviously, you imagine it will be defended at Money in the Bank. So, Money in the Bank is June the 14th. Elimination Chamber's 2 weeks yesterday. Some other news, obviously, is we've got the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast back on the 1st of June with Paul Heyman, so that should be awesome. Not sure what happened, why it was away for 2 months, why they had the Jericho ones. But it's back, and I'm not complaining, so maybe they patched up, or maybe it was just rumours anyway. But all in all, a real solid pay-per-view. I'm happy. I enjoyed it, especially watching it this morning rather than staying up. So now it's all, just moving on to the next one. But, what are your guys' thoughts? What did you think? Did you like it? Did you not? Leave your comments below. But until then, thanks for watching. Keep liking, subscribing, and I will see you soon. Peace.